Hello and welcome to my retro watches. I'm sitting in my garage here on a Saturday in complete quarantine as I'm filming this right in the middle of this coronavirus outbreak, and hopefully if you're watching in a few years time this will all be a thing of the past, but as of right now it is a right pain. Anyway, with that out of the way, this video is probably going to be a very quick video for you guys, but possibly a very long video for me, and I'll tell you for why. What I've got here is an Omega signed crown, and it was from a split stem, and there is the remains of the split stem. If you don't know what a split stem is, it has a little female part. I don't know if I can get that to focus for you. So it's like a split down the middle, and these are for watches that have got a closed case where you can't take the case back off, so you've got to pull the crown and stem out and take the movement out via the dial. And what's happened on this one is that the stem snapped away from the crown, and it was really terrifying when that happened, actually, because I thought, well, how am I ever going to get the movement out? But the way I did get it out was to use I've got a Seiko crown here, and basically a watchmaker gave me a tip. He said that there's a good chance this is broken and you may have left one thread, perhaps just one thread showing. So if you try a few spare crowns that you've got with a long tube, which is this one, maybe you might be able to just engage that last thread enough to be able to pull the stem out. And this was the second crown I tried. I think it's a tap 9, and lucky for me that binded with that little bit there just for a brief moment, enough to release the stem, and I could get the movement out. But what to do with these signed Omega crowns are really expensive, if you can get one at all, but there is a way potentially of getting the old metal out of that hole in the middle. I do wonder actually whether if I put my magnifier on, whether this, I've never tried this before, yeah, it's just going to focus there. So look, so you can see just inside is where it's sheared. So I've read a bit on the groups that I'm in, and over the years keep hearing stuff about what's called alum powder, and I don't profess to know particularly what alum powder is. It says it can be used in deodorants and all kinds of things. However, if I mix some of this with some water and soak this crown in it, because you have to believe that the crown is made from solid stainless steel, and of course the innard stem is made of a lesser material, that there will be a chemical reaction, and slowly but surely it'll start dissolving the old metal, or the old stem that is in there. So I'm going to try and attempt this. Now all I would need to use is a jar like this, apparently a teaspoonful of the powder, and then enough water as well to sort of cover the crown, and then keep it in a warm place. So it's spring here at the moment in the UK. My heaters are still coming on, certainly in the evenings. So I'm going to stick it on the top of a radiator, and the aim will be is to check it every day or every couple of days to see whether this is going to come out or not. I've had other people that I've spoken to have done this. Someone told me it took them 2 weeks to dissolve. Other people say it only takes a few days with some heat. So who knows? And that's why this video could be really long, because it could take me a long time. So without further ado, let's just set up the jar, and I'll put the powder in and a bit of water, and we'll get it to go. So there we have a teaspoon. I don't know whether that's a lot or a little, and we'll pour in a little bit of water. And then of course got to try and mix it, or I'm assuming this stuff will dissolve well enough. So it's gone sort of cloudy. So I don't know whether that's good enough or not, but I'm going to say it is, and I'm going to drop the crown in. And all it remains to say right now is wish me luck. We'll just leave that in there, and I'll keep checking on it and keep filming on it over the next few days or weeks, and see how the results go as we go along. So for you, I'll catch you in a second. For me, probably in another day. Okay, here we are, day 2, just over 24 hours now, and the crown's been in the alum solution in there. So it's time to fish it out and have a look at if it's made any progress or not. So I haven't looked at this, it's just sat on top of my radiator. It has been cold, so the heating's been on. So let's see if the heater's done any good. Right, so I can't really tell from there. I'm not entirely sure whether that's even going to focus. So let's just lift it up first of all. It's certainly gone black, hasn't it? But I really can't see. So I'll tell you what, let's just whack it on the microscope and see there. That will give us a much better indication of what's going on inside there. Okay, so here we are on the scope, and that really does open the whole new world up for us on this. It looks like so far all it's done is turn it a different colour. No real surprise. I've got a little oiler here, and I'm guessing all of this, yeah, it's debris and junk, I guess. The main piece of steel we can see in the middle there is for a minute I just thought, did I just manage to put a, has it gone soft? Can't have gone soft, can it? No, it's my, well, I don't know, maybe there's some gunk in there as well. There's certainly something was scraping away, wasn't there? However, it's certainly not all out. There is one thread, I think, that I can see. But back into the drink it's going to go. We're going to try and burn the rest of that out. Hopefully I didn't move that too much off the screen for you there. So catch me in either day 2 or day 3. I don't know how many days I'm going to check it for, whether I'm going to do this every day or not so far. But in a second you'll find out. Okay, it is now day 3. I skipped day 2. Plainly and simply, I forgot actually. I was a bit too busy with other things. So here we go. Let's turn it over and have a look. And what can we see? I can see that I think it's dissolved a little bit more. It's hard to tell without actually watching the video from the previous days, but that certainly does look a little bit better, doesn't it? So if I put the oiler in there and prod around a little bit, let's see what we get. Dead hard to get hold of the thing with the tweezers. Come on, right, here we go. Try again. No, that's still rock hard. And look, you can see it sort of shining through when I'm poking around. So, I don't know. It still feels a little bit soft, but I don't think it's done too much over the last 48 hours. So I guess I'm going to put it back into the drink, and I think also I will probably add a little bit more powder to the mix just to strengthen it up a bit. I don't know whether you're supposed to change it every time or not, but that's what we're going to do, and see the results that we're going to get. Yeah, look, see, it's definitely, I don't know, I think it's definitely wearing a little bit. I can scoop a little bit out, but then that could be just the alum powder itself. It's hard, it really is hard to say. But let's see what another day is going to bring. So, wish me luck. I'm going to put it back in with another teaspoonful of stuff, and I'll catch you in another day. Welcome back. This is day 5. Day 4, I kind of thought this thing wasn't moving much over the days, so I sort of skipped a day. However, today, because I'm on self-isolation at home, I decided to try and heat this thing up a little bit. So I left it in the jar and got a pan of hot water, and I switched the pan off once it was hot and stood the jar in there for, well, as long as it took to cool back down again. Did that a few cycles, I don't know, 2 or 3 cycles I think, and just put it back in the jar and forgot all about it until now. So I'm putting it on the scope, and it's time to turn it over and see what's happened. Right, okay, I can instantly see that that is an improvement and a half, almost to the point. The thing is, it doesn't come out on camera very well, but when I look with my eye through the other part of the microscope, it is practically dissolved. That is amazing. So the stem, I think, has gone. I'm just going to try and grasp it with some tweezers so I can hold it so you guys can see as well. It's really difficult to do. And then get the oiler that I've been using. Yeah, look at that. It goes right down to the bottom. So sadly, I can't really seem to get any better light into the microscope here for you guys to see. There is something I can try. I mean, it will go blurry. Let's just see if that makes any difference. And no, it doesn't really, does it? So you'll have to take it from me at the moment that I think that has dissolved it. So 5 days. Certainly the heat must have been a really contributing factor. I have read that heat does help, and I reckon it has. So the acid test really is to try and fit a stem into this crown and see what happens. Now I haven't got the Omega one yet because I haven't ordered it, but I have got a Seiko stem which I think will fit this. So only because I had the same crown that pulled it out. If you remember, I described at the start of this video. So I've got the same stem to match that crown. So hopefully it's going to match this crown. So we'll cut to the desk and we'll try that and see what happens. Okay, here we are on the bench. I've got the suitable stem and of course the crown. Just incidentally, sometimes if you're looking for stems or crowns and you don't really know, they say tap 8, tap 7, tap 9, that sort of thing. And my interpretation is tap is obviously probably the tap size to cut the thread. However, the 9, 8 and 7 is a point of a millimetre. So if we grab this stem here and we measure the thread which is on the end, hopefully you're going to see this. There. So excuse me, it is 0.9, which is a tap 9. So if you wanted to get a crown for that, you'd need to get a tap 9 crown, and then of course look at the dimensions of the crown also. So I'm going to have the acid test. So I'm just going to excuse my real grubby fingers. We're going to get the stem, and I'm just going to, as you can see, that's turning on. That's gone on and it's fully locked. I'm trying to pull that apart. So I would conclude that the melting of the stem in the alum powder has been a great success. So there we go, guys. If you have that problem of a stuck a stem in your crown, as long as your crown is made of decent steel like stainless steel, and the other steel is worse or softer, it should eat it alive like it's done there. So I'm going to end this video at that point. Thanks very much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like this one. I do hope this helps somebody out there in the world at some point. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this, because there's plenty more content coming this way. And again, don't forget to join the Facebook group, Retro and Vintage Watches and Restorations. Fantastic place full of lots of helpful people. 7,000 of us all around the world, all talking about watches. How about that? Couldn't get any better. So that's it, guys. Again, thanks very much. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.